Well, there you go. Yeah, live chat. So now if you go to YouTube, so if we go to our YouTube link here, where's my oh, here we go, my channel.
I have a huge respect for design.
Not my channel. We want Creator Studio.
What do you use for design?
Oh, there it is. Live stream. Nope. That I clicked on. Oh, that's it. That was a previous live stream that was recorded.
じゃあ最初からローカルダタイにしといて、こっちで空きが出たら向こうから移ってもらえばよくないですか。
7時の時点で、じゃあ7時の時点で、はい、席があったら向こうは連れてくる。
So there you go. That's live. So that's live.
Okay.
And I can send you.
Wait, where's
There's a delay. Yeah, give it a second. It'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this in here. Oh, wrong one. There you go.
Okay. Could you put the microphone on? Everything on?
Everything's on. You can go in the other room and test it out. It's in your Facebook chat.
And can you put the presentation on?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing next. What's that? Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna need a chair or some sort of stationary support.
Hey, is that Delson? Hey.
Yo!
What's up?
You made it, dude. What's up?
Of course.
How you doing? What's up?
Nice.
I'm just setting up the live stream, man. Give me a second here and we'll chill.
Anyone programmers here? You guys? Okay, so is this mostly object oriented, right? Okay, cool. Just understand. You got a background in that.
I usually do JavaScript the most.
JavaScript the most?
It's web and it's more flexible.
Okay. Well, I got a background in Java effects, you know, and C++ if that helps you in any. Okay, Andre, Yoshi. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go. Yo, Nelson, it's nice seeing you.
Dude, yeah, I'll see you around, man.
All right. How's things at Wentworth?
It was good, dude.
Fun?
We'll catch up. We're gonna catch up.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen to reality today, you know? Sorry, listen to reality. Yeah, it's a few people. Is it supposed to be full? I never actually. No, maybe it's probably yes, because if there's someone people they love it. That would be good. What are the chances? So what do you say? I don't study anything right now. I study medicine. Portugal. What about Portugal? What about you? I have my computer. And now I'm doing balance.
What's up?
I think this stream is really slow. You can go
Yeah,
check it
it's
out.
gonna have a delay, but
No, it's just like completely stopped. It's just loading
oh,
all
let
the
me see
time.
here.
So anyway.
It was really fun. Yeah,
So-
biophysics on the degree of medicine. So I really like it. I was searching. I was searching for a unified theory of physics.
Can you
So what do you like to? So what do you?
can you have the video in lower quality and audio as well?
We were
Is there a way to control if it's in high def or?
So no, it's just picking up the raw feed of that camera quality. So whatever that camera is. So we're gonna be, either way, however we slice it, we're gonna get bottlenecked by the
software
internet
Yes.
connection here.
But Google Hangout, it didn't happen.
studying
Right.
type and
because Google Hangout, you're streaming the webcam quality, and then if you turn off video, then you're just streaming
probably
audio.
less, right? Less
Yeah.
weight on the PC. Isn't that better?
It is, but then we can't record the event, and we also won't have.
We have another PC, so we can use this to record it, and then have another.
We could
laptop
do-
connected to
Yeah, I
just
mean-
do the Hangout.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Systems that can like self improve themselves. Like every step they can like learn, okay, this work and this not.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Yuki asked me to come help out.
Like
What
still,
do you think?
okay,
Everything.
the kids
Okay.
fail to
You have
do
another
so,
laptop,
maybe
right?
What?
they
You have
fail
another
to
laptop,
like,
right?
No.
just find the ways to make
Not today. No, I mean, right now we're just sorting out like audio and visual stuff.
the work of
Do you have any experience like live streaming stuff?
Probably not as much as you.
giving you that
Yeah, I mean,
professors on
I've been working with this stuff for a while. It's been like a whole 48 hours.
Live streaming.
I didn't know like there was people who have like whole setups and like rigs for live streaming. It's insane. I thought it was just like plug a camera in, get a microphone.
Yeah, there's like Google Hangouts and there's Facebook.
Whoa!
Sorry.
あ、そうなんですか。学生さんですか。学生さんですか。
はい、一応卒業して一応働いて。
あ、そうなんですね。日系企業ですか。
あ、いえいえ、CBS っていう企業会社。CBS。一応なんか
Does this projector have a remote?
I say
で2週間がっつりオンラインでやる感じ。
スクリーンシェア。
ハンガート。
スクリーンシェアできますよ。ハンガ
向こうの人さ連れてくる。
ーでマイクがこれで大丈夫かなって感じですけど。座って話します。座って話しますか。ここで。目の前で。
ちょっと待って、どこどこさ。
So this is good because we'll need to record it and probably stream it on the day of the hackathon and ideathon.
Right.
So what?
That's
So we need
why.
practice.
This
What
is
is-
the test. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a.
So let's make sure we
I've
have
practiced
a good one.
once today. Now this is a dry run.
What I
Yeah.
share? What I'm sharing?
Yeah. What are you sharing?
I don't know what I share.
Screen share?
Oh, the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
You want me to share what PowerPoint?
Wait, is this screen shared right now? On Google Hangout?
I'm doing now.
Okay. And then. Okay. Oh, okay. Go to the Google Doc. And then share.
It's shared.
Just presents. Yeah, that's what we need.
なってる？
あれ変わってないですけど。
Are you on Hangout? There's some.
No. This is not on Hangout at all.
Where's the HDMI?
What do you, the HDMI is connected to this.
Can we connect it to this one?
Yeah. Yeah, we
That
can.
one should be fine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
確かにちょっと今の時点で。これ
HDMI じゃない。
向こうの人こっちに来てもらっていいですか？
うん。
あとこれ渡すんだったら。
あ、じゃあ配ってってもらっていいですよ。
これですか？
はい。そうです。はい。
これが邪魔で入らない。
壊れてるし潰れてるしこれ潰れて
あ、
ますよ
これ使いましょう。
これ使える？
これをこっちにつなぎの、それをこっちにつなぎの。
このじゃあセラップそのままそれとも持ってくる？向こうのセタップ持ってくる？
Would you guys want to come over here? Get closer to the screen.
いい感じ。繋がりませんけど。
Be careful with that wire right in front of you. So are you gonna connect this? I have another little dongle. If you want to try a different one. This has HDMI plug in it.
From here.
HDMI to Thunderbolt, yeah. So the HDMI cable was working for this. Here.
Yeah, so we're building,
Try that. Oh, is that the remote for this one?
so it's like basically
Yeah. Can I see that?
something
Because I just want to fix this ratio. It's killing me.
registered courses, logic law. So I'm taking Android development to
It's killing me.
and then have I ever seen? Yeah. So this is what I'm doing right now. At first I was like literally just brute force coding everything. But then I figured out there's this platform that you can use just to like drag and drop. And then the code gets generated on the IDE that you use. So check it out. Do you have a background in Java?
I'm not a coder.
No. You're like physics background or something? Math background. Business, yeah. Okay, just plug in I'll try to write the processor. Yeah, so it's pretty similar to what you might see. Yeah, purchase class and get some. So, whatever.
Oh, I said it dark. You can say it. You can change it from there.
I like the.
Yeah, that's a little too bright.
All right, dude.
That's good.
We're good.
I use Spectrum.
That's what people are seeing, so
Yeah.
it looks good online.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And do we want the camera to the presenter?
That's fine because they're gonna catch the audio, so it doesn't really matter if they see us or not, right?
Let's
Focus on.
It's only 7. Wait.
Yeah,
I
are
mean,
we
it is
starting at
supposed
7?
Should we wait a bit to get more people?
It's up to you. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Great. Good? Yeah. Thanks for joining us on Thursday. There you go.
So
Can you guys hear me okay?
this-
Or should I be using the mic?
Like,
Mic?
The mic's a lot better.
Is it? Okay, alright. For you guys, we'll use the mic then. That's good.
Can you guys see the screen in the back? Good.
Good? Okay. Cool.
まだ待ちます。
7, right? Almost. So you have to speak with this thing.
Yeah, if we want to, yeah.
No. When you speak, it's gonna
Or you
connect
can
to
just
this
speak
one.
So, yeah, you
When-
can.
When you-
Everyone
when you-
can still hear me if I'm not using the mic, right? But for the people in the back, you guys said you want the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better. Yeah. Use it.
So, I have another like little microphone, and I tried like hell to to work it with this one, but that's gonna be for the ideathon, and for the actual event, we'll get it. So we're just waiting for a few people on the other side of the stream to get ready. We have some people in Japan joining us. So, do we not? Oh, we did. Okay. But how many people here are programmers? Engineers? Artists? There we go. Okay, yeah. Cool. Some diversity, some different backgrounds. How many people here from community college? Oh yeah. All right. Cool.
So then right here, singular. Just click on guide, and I'll you're still trying to get interested. Everything was going weird. Holy formant. It started up late. I think it started late or doing me. I was like, oh man. It increases the director. So you can use that in direct. Literally just in whatever class you want. You got to have or like combo. Anything that like most people don't get some.
Trying to get it going. Fall. They were trying to figure out trying to get other
Doesn't work with mine.
I want to move this chair to the back. Or if you can move it
Another project too.
Yeah, let's take over shares.
Yeah, because people should come. Sorry, maybe just go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. We want to
How many people have participated in the hackathon before? About NASA, ISAC? Oh, so everyone's this time?
Here, dude.
Who are the computer scientists or students with computer science majors? Right here.
Your voice is not carrying back here very well.
How about the how about this now?
Better.
Oh, better? Cool. Oh, this is loud. How about engineers? Mechanical engineers? Okay, cool. Just three of us. How about non-engineers? Nice, nice. You want to tell like why you decided to come to info session? Are you interested in like NASA or interested in coding?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah?
I'm a big fan of NASA. I watch countless
Me too.
hours of space videos.
Yeah.
I'm a UX designer, so I think being able to be in a room filled with coders, it's important to have a UX person to be able to validate whether or not we're building something that's.
Oh, so you're UX designer. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, so I participated in this event 2 years ago, also as an organizer and participant. I'm a mechanical engineer, so I have no coding experience at the time, but I still enjoyed it. So, even if you don't have any coding experience, I think hackathon sounds a lot like, just hacking, and it requires a lot of computer knowledge and coding knowledge. All I knew at the time was a little bit of MATLAB, so as any other mechanical engineering student. So I highly recommend participating, even if you're not computer scientist or don't have any, or you might want to have a little bit of programming language experience, or if you have like a really specific knowledge on, say, earth science or space science, I think that you can still contribute to the team, right? With your specific knowledge. So that's just my experience. But anyway, should we start? Or? Still late? Yeah. What like one eye?
Little bit.
Can you guys still hear me? Okay, cool.
I think you don't have to put it so close to it.
Okay.
Alright.
Who else are we?
This.
Also, so in order to participate in this hackathon, you'll need to form a team. So feel free to mingle and find your teammates here.
How big is the team?
What's that?
Five-ish.
How big?
Usually 5 to
five.
6, right? Yeah.
使った方がいいよ、マイ
It's
ク
a
ロフォン。
48-hour
You
event,
just speak
so if
microphone.
your team's too
Oh.
big, you're going to spend a lot of time doing like administrative work and like trying to,
Jason?
you know,
You should
communicate.
speak on my microphone.
But if you so smaller teams tend to be more nimble, right? It's a short event, so you want to just keep that in mind. We don't have a limit to how many team members you can have on a team, but that's something to keep in mind.
So are we going to get started?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
So should we just do introductions first?
Yeah, so, start.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's our leader.
Hey, how are you guys? Good. So thank you for coming. This is actually in possession of ISAC Boston. So how many people knew this event before and just got to know this week, last week? I think kind of it's been there for 5 years, 6 years from 2012, but then we're actually doing our Binnovative NPO organization. So actually we are going to present for the info session for like an hour, and then so you guys can ask any question if you have. So let me just introduce ourselves. So we actually NPO based in Boston, so trying to connect Japan and Boston to foster entrepreneurship mindset. So we're gonna go to explain later, but we have some special collaboration project with Japan. And then this is actually an organization me, Eriko made in 2014, and then we are having this hackathon since 2014. So this is the 5th year. So we've been gonna be having awesome experience with you guys. It's great to have you guys this year. So then we're actually trying to cross-border collaboration for entrepreneurial mindset. Anyways, so doesn't relate to NASA, but we're gonna go to NASA things. Yeah. So yeah, I think there is just trying to show you the past. That's fine. This is from 2014. Okay, just a little bit of flavor of what happened. So, anyway, so we're actually going to present with a team, me, Eriko, and then here's Jason, and then Shunta, and then reception, Yuki, our team, Binnovative. So I'm gonna hand it to who's next speaking?
Me.
Okay, so Shunta is gonna explain about.
I thought
Okay.
the next few slides maybe we're gonna watch religious situation.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, my name is Delson Da Silva. I found out about the NASA Space Apps back in 2014. I came and checked it out, and I just thought it was amazing to see all these people in a matter of 48 hours come together to tackle these global challenges issued by NASA across these several different topics, to work together to develop solutions. People from all over, as you saw, developers, engineers, artists, designers, all working together in a true sense of collaboration, not competition. It is a competition, but the focus is collaboration, and you'll slowly understand why we emphasize that way. As you can see, last year in 2017, over 187 cities participated in this event. It is a global event, and it happens simultaneously. So it's a huge global effort. It's a very large community. For months on end after, you see online all these different presentations, these videos, these efforts. You see the live streams, and you get to see what other people did in other cities and other parts of the world. It's very interesting. I got it. All right, don't got it. There we go. So the way it works here in Boston, we have, and you'll hear more about it later on, we have local teams and mixed teams. We provide a way for you to collaborate with people in Japan and have a mixed team where you have some team members here and some team members there. This provides an added dimension to the whole challenge in the sense of collaborating with different people from different cultures, and it's really important because realistically speaking, in any industry that you go into, that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to work with people from all different types of mindsets, and you should learn to leverage that as a tool as opposed to look at it as resistance or anything other than an advantage, really. So what happens is you compete throughout the 48-hour event, and then we pick 2 finalists here locally in the Boston competition, and then you have 7 days to make a video and submit to compete on the national scale, where NASA will pick the winners for each category and each challenge. So before I get into this year's challenges, I'm just going to speak a little bit about my specific experience. Yours could be different, but I had a different, not better or worse. I had a great experience. So I've been competing. I competed 2015, 16, and 17. I got to work with all sorts of different people. I participated in the mixed team initiative. I do not speak Japanese. So if you were thinking about that being like a problem, it's not. Make sure you have at least one person in your team that does speak Japanese though. But it's a great time. You get to see how, coming from a different culture, you approach problems in a completely different way, and it's very refreshing to see that. So I've been coming through the event. I've 2015 and 16, I competed with a similar project, and we tackled a challenge from 2 different perspectives. And then on the 3rd year, I just wanted to come in and do something totally new. So that's what we did. All 3 years, I worked with different teams, different people, because that's how I felt I was going to get the most out of the event. Learning from other people and collaborating with other people. On top of that, I was very fortunate. This is a competition with a focus on collaboration, but we're going to have plenty of sponsors there, and I highly encourage you to reach out and talk to those sponsors because they can help you in terms of professional growth and development. Right now, I'm in a co-op that came out of an individual I met, a judge that I met in the 2015 competition. Right now, I work over at Mass General Hospital on life detection systems for Mars. And that's because I networked with a research scientist that was a judge here at the event. So keep your mind open, introduce yourself, talk to the sponsors, the judges, and connect, because you never know what's possible. So this year, NASA announced the challenges, and they're going to be focused on, building things on volcanoes, icebergs, asteroids, what the world needs now, and help others discover the Earth, a universe of beauty and wonder, and an icy glare. So these are very broad categories. Within these categories, there will be several challenges that you can pick. Some of these are challenges that NASA has already issued and have solutions for, and they're looking for new innovative approaches. Some of them they have not addressed yet, and they're just looking to see what's possible and what people can imagine. So another thing that's really cool about this event, NASA opens up a lot of access to several of their databases. These are from instrumentations that constantly is collecting data. Right now, I'm sure you've heard of it if you're going to school or if you're in industry. Big data is a huge challenge, right? There's so much information. How do you leverage it effectively? How do you use it? What can you learn from it? What's the most effective way? What are the best tools to do this? What are the most efficient tools to do this? So NASA opens up a lot of those databases. Sorry, NASA opens up a lot of those databases for you to experiment and play with. So these are some of our sponsors. As I mentioned, they're going to be there. We have we're always in communication, so there's potentially more sponsors towards the actual execution
One more
event.
thing to this.
Sure, of course.
How many people is not programmer here? Is not programmer, but you want to build. Okay. So here's the thing. There's a Kingdom is a company, and I'll let you. I just got a confirmation that sponsor are going to provide a product, which is it's like a cloud software that you can actually don't need to code, but you can actually make the product like drag and drop. So it's are you Japanese, right? Do you know Cyborgs? You know Cyborgs? Yeah, there's a company called Cyborgs in Japan. So they actually trying to introduce product in here. I'm gonna introduce the product information later. But anyways, my point is our company providing product, the tool that you don't need to be the programmer, but you can build the product.
Is that all of it?
Cool. So we're gonna have 2 mentors this year. Each year we have mentors who is gonna help us either in technical challenge. It could be you might have issues communicating with Japan side for international teams. So the first one is Christopher Carr. He is
Shout out to Chris Carr, that's my boss.
yeah, he's my boss. He's boss. He's a research scientist in MIT. Don't know how to pronounce that. It sounds hard. The next one is Karen Panos. She is gonna help us with anything with like cross-cultural collaboration or in general. And I think in one of the events she came to us to do some demonstration on how she can help us, and I think it's gonna be very helpful, especially for those who are not who have not much experience on the cross-cultural collaboration or just like remote working. Okay, so let's talk about ISAC 2018 Boston. So NASA ISAC is held in so many locations, but one thing that's unique in our location, as you might have been hearing, is that we have international teams, which consists of people from Boston like us and people in Japan. So organizers in Japan are currently trying to collect participants for this event so that we can combine those participants from Japan and us to form what's called an international team to provide cross-cultural collaboration. And we have Boston local teams where you can just form within yourselves. So I'm going to talk about Boston local team first. In order to join the Boston local team, you need to first form a team. Find your friends here, or you can find your friends at your school, your company, and get them into your team. And the hackathon is going to be October 20th and 21st. So the only thing you need to do is to form a team and have them register. And I'm going to talk about the registration later. But that's the only requirement. So it should be pretty simple. And so as we talked about, Binnovative is passionate about cross-cultural collaboration, entrepreneur mindset. That's what our group does. And because of that, we want to emphasize on the international teams. I'm going to go briefly over it. So international teams require multicultural, diverse, international teams are multicultural, diverse, skilled. We work across geographies, and your team must be working towards the same goal. And you might imagine there's going to be some a lot of things that you have to overcome in order to do that. You have to be very open to diverse ideas. You have to be able to solve your problems through remote collaboration, and there's a time difference between the Tokyo and here, so you can imagine that might be a problem as well. And you must be also willing to cooperate with each other, of course, for teamwork. Yeah, so these are things that we're looking for if you want to attend in the international teams. We're gonna send this PowerPoint over later in the email or Eventbrite, through Eventbrite. So all the details you can see later. But the most important thing for international teams is that we're gonna have what's called IDFO next Thursday or next Friday, where you will pitch ideas, and people from Japan will be attending remotely to this ideathon, and so they're gonna hear your ideas, and we're gonna vote on which ideas we want to pursue on. So there's gonna be several ideas that's gonna come out of the ideathon, which we're gonna form teams around those. So that's first important thing. So in order to go to the ideathon, we want you to submit your idea by October 4th. It can be like 3 slides on your PowerPoint, just really briefly going over which challenge you want to tackle and how you plan to solve it. And we want you to pitch your idea. It could be really short. We don't expect you to have answer right now. Just briefly why you're doing it and what you want to accomplish within that. And it's going to be here, right?
Yeah. Same.
And after that, you're going to be we are going to select the ideas to form the teams around. And I think we're gonna be responsible for forming the teams to make sure that each team has enough skill set and people who can speak Japanese and English, so that each team has a way to communicate well. So I'm gonna go briefly over this one. Register on Eventbrite. The registration link is gonna be open after this info session. And step 2, next week, come to the Ideathon from 7 to 10:30. Well, that's pretty late, but that's because of time difference. So we appreciate for that. And the coffee is going to be provided by our sponsor, apparently. So for the Ideathon, prep before, just have few slides to explain your idea and submit it to us. We'll send you a link to submit your ideas once you register through Eventbrite. And what to expect: self-intro and pitch your own ideas, and we're gonna vote on all the projects and which projects you want to work on, and then we're gonna decide which ideas are worth pursuing to form international teams. And after that, we are going to form teams and create a Slack channel for each of the teams, so that you guys can start communicating. More on this, we'll talk about this at the Ideathon. More to come later. And this is a very tentative schedule for now. But this is usually how the hackathon goes, based on the previous years. Cool. Yeah. So as I said, I'm gonna send this over to you guys later. So I wrote out what steps you need to take for each attendees. Most important thing, just register on the Eventbrite today. It's free, right? And just be prepared to have your idea, I guess, on next week. And NASA has not announced a specific challenge yet. They announced categories, but they don't have specific challenge yet. And so hopefully that's gonna come by next week, so that you can form a solution.
This month, I think.
At the end of this month?
Yeah.
So how are they supposed to have an idea?
Touching bodies.
Can I
Okay.
elaborate a little bit, just a little bit?
So you may be thinking, well, if we don't have the challenges yet, how can we prepare? Well, what you could be doing between now and then is figuring out who's going to be on your team and then allocating your skills. So figuring out who knows how to do what, and then preparing, trying to take inventory of what kind of skills you have available, and potentially if you have hardware, if you want to bring hardware, there's going to be plenty of people with Raspberry Pis, monitors, etc., things like that, different development kits, things like that. You're totally open to whatever you want to do. Some people bring in VR equipment. So go ahead.
Yeah, cool.
For the local team, that's it. Yeah.
And if you're local attendees, again, register. Make sure you register. If you're not registered, the NASA's not going to be able to tell that you're submitting ideas, right? And come to the hackathon. It's a fun time to be with your teammates and your rivals for 2 days. And yeah, so get excited. Okay, for international team, just a few notes that there's gonna be time difference. So you can imagine the midnight here is 1 p.m. there. So their prime working time is our like I want to go to bed time. So just make sure, and we can send this over to you. The time difference is 13 hours, FYI. So if you want to be part of the international teams, register yourself before leaving the spot, before leaving today. And space might be limited just because of the number of participants in Japan side. If we want to make sure that number of participants match between the Boston and Japan. So if they have 20 people, the number might be 20 people. If they have 15, the space might be 15 people for international teams. Which should not discourage you to still register, right? You can still, if you don't get into international teams, you can still form a local team and have a blast.
So if you have a question, you can ask. This is actually how to register, but I think it's not fair to take the opportunity to take a question before. So if you have any question, okay, go ahead.
Maybe to one of them, what were like challenges that you guys worked on from the previous
Challenges that we've tackled in the past.
Yeah.
So for the first 2 times that I competed, I focused on like wearables, so like wearable technology. Specifically, we were really interested in learning more about the EVA spacesuit. So we looked at NASA's suit and different limitations of that suit and modern day improvements that we can make. I mean, everyone here has heard the saying, like, we have more processing power in your little phone that they had when they first sent the satellite. The same is true for the suit. Believe it or not, there is like plenty of outdated things that could be updated on the suit. And then the third year was we focused on something here on Earth. I wanted to learn more about like how to use data, like big data and stuff like that. So we made like a landslide tracker. So we have instrumentation that tracks hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanoes, etc. We focused on something that tracked landslides. So, any other questions? What did you work on, Shunta?
Okay. My team worked on creating apps for I guess not tracking, but making sure that all the drones that are in the air do not go into like do not fly zone, or there's a lot of legal restrictions on where the drones can fly. So we tried to come up with an app that notifies the user of where the legal restriction lines are for the drone operator.
Is that written in Android?
No, it was a website because it was just a prototype. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really good point, dude. So basically, it's 48 hours. So we're not looking for a product or a highly polished, deliverable. We're looking for a solid concept with some legs that, the idea can stand on its own. That's what we're looking for. And like I said, some of these, or maybe I didn't say it, but some of these ideas go on to be startups. Some of these ideas are startups who are looking to validate their idea. Remember, you have these judges who are like very high level people, research scientists, CEOs, or founders of companies. They'll be critical. They can give you really good feedback on your ideas. So push them to their limits and see how far you can go.
So I think we've been explained that at the end of the event, right? We actually just pick up the 2 top ideas from each venue. So it's gonna send to the global judge. So that means, for example, 200 locations attend the event from over the world, and then 400 ideas gonna go to NASA. So your idea might be go to NASA, and then NASA people can judge, and then 2 years ago, right? The Toronto person, some NASA.
I think it was like twice. We had one team did very well and they placed. They were like finalists on national level, and then the other one was like People's Choice on like national level, right?
No. They're both the finalists.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, sometimes there's a NASA, the community person might contact you. This is cool idea. I wanna be part of your. So it's good. It could happen. So as long as you're doing it good, so it's good happen in your. either exposed to NASA at the end of the day. So if you are a global finalist and you're gonna be finalist of like a top 5, you're gonna be invited next launch or whatever the special, you know.
Go rocket.
Yeah, rocket. So, anyways, this is actually a link to register the hackathon itself. So everyone has a QR code in your hand, right? I guess. So the reason I emphasize you guys register is, especially for the I team, international team. I want you guys to be here next Friday in order to form team. So in order to do that, I actually got you guys to register yourself today at least. I mean, but tomorrow maybe. But that's why I actually just released a link to the. So feel free to go ahead, register for the. So I think you have register in your hand. I want you guys go to, name yourself. Just one introduction to get to know everybody here. It's okay? Cool? Can you start?
Hi, my name
is
my name is Yoshi. I am also a UX designer. I work for CBS as a UX designer, and I help their websites and digital apps and their digital experience. So nice to meet you.
My name is Peter. I'm a UX designer, freelancing right now. The only idea that I feel like might be useful, well, not useful, but I think that would be great to work on is showing more people about like places on Earth, I guess. I think, yeah.
My name is Rania. I'm a computer science student in Vancouver Community College. I'm interested in coding, and I expect from this to practice my coding skills and I learn a lot of other skills. So that's it.
My name's Ian. I'm also a student at Bunker Hill Community College. I'm a comp sci major. From this experience, I hope to learn from people and see the different ideas that people may have. I currently take C++ and Java. That shows my skill sets.
My name is Zhao Wang, and I'm working on a project that brings a successful software from China to America. It's a learning enhancement software that uses meditation to make you be able to process information in your brain, not relying on the pronunciation, so that you can read and memorize things much faster. Entrepreneurial mindset.
So I'm Andrea Marcus and I'm a programmer. I like to do many things. I like to explore, but what I'm more interested now is learning how to communicate and how to collaborate with people. I'm also doing a project. I like entrepreneurship. I'm doing a project that customizes education for each personality type.
I am Sri Kiran. I work at Harvard IT as a data warehouse developer. My core skill set is to integrate data using SQL, Unix, and Python. I wanted to see how hackathon looks like. This is the first one I'm attending.
My name is Alex. I'm also a student at Bunker Hill. I'm on my second to last semester there. Pretty acquainted with object-oriented programming. I got a background in C++, Java, and Android. And I'm just looking to gain experience in like different problem-solving approaches as far as like collaborating with people.
My name is Jericho. I'm also a community college student. I'm a electrical engineering major, so I have experience in C++ and low-level programming as well as hardware design. I've done a couple personal projects in my free time, and I pretty much wanted to come here for more project experience and working with groups.
My name is Gio. I'm also one of the students in Bunker Hill. I'm very new to coding,
also at Bunker Hill, studying electrical engineering and computer science, and again, broaden my experience and everything. And I love space exploration, so definitely sign up for this. One idea I just have sitting here would be like search for extraterrestrials. Like what signals are there that maybe we don't even know about besides radio frequencies, something like that.
So I'm Elena, and I'm from Mass Bay. There's a few of us here. I'm not in computer sciences, but I am interested, especially the Earth part, with gardening on Earth and in space, and that's my major interest. I work at local shelters, and I think that a lot of apps could be made for people to connect with resources for food, housing, and transportation.
My name's Ava. I'm from Mass Bay, and I'm trying to get into coding.
I'm Nick. I'm also from Mass Bay Community College, studying general engineering at Mass Bay. Yeah, I just want to maybe gain insight into future careers from this experience and study it hard.
I'm Jeffrey. I am currently a senior at Wentworth Institute of Technology, computer science major. I have a bit of a background in Java, C# and Android. In my free time, I've been working to learn how to use
My name is Emily. I'm from Mass Bay Community College. I'm general engineering studies, and I'm just here today because I want to get some experience and maybe learn a little bit more about program.
I'm Maddie. I'm from Mass Bay Community College, and I study computer and electrical engineering. I did research experience for undergrad, so I do at the University of Southern California this summer, where I was working on a virtual reality research project. And I'm here because I would like to learn more about programming and apply it to something. And in 48 hours, it's not a lot of time to put into a great project that you have to show everybody you do it. So.
Stuart, I'm also at Mass Bay. A few of us are here from the engineering club, campus group. I'm an engineering major. I don't have any programming experience really, but I'm interested in doing this as a way to get some experience working with the team, developing some sort of solution for whatever you decide for. Not sure. But R&D is way
I am Matthias. I did physics. Nowadays, I do mostly coding in Python for data analytics, and I hope that we can learn something together. I really want to get some practice into working in teams and make it together more than we can make us. So.
Kelsey, I do design and communications, and it's just sounded really fun and interesting, so that's why I'm here.
And I do something new, working on technology, and this channel has a very interesting experience, and it's being exposed to
My name is Kid
you like?
Hey, my name is Gil. I work for a software startup called ThoughtBlocks. I'm interested in interstellar economics and specifically how information is slowed down by faster than light travel.
I'm a software engineer. I'm a backend developer. I'm the same startup here in Boston. And I'm interested in how we not have
I'm Graham. I work with them. So, I'm a graphic designer, UX designer, and also engineer. Also experience in JavaScript. And, who didn't want to be an astronaut when they were a kid? That's what I wanted to do. And this is just really cool. So, I'm not going to check it out.
Dear Lord, that's just funny. It's awesome.
What's his name? Is he gonna participate? There you go. What's his background? There you go. He's still undecided, right?
Good.
Yeah.
So then, if you have any question,
We'll be around, so you guys are free
Yeah.
to like hang out and
so
meet up, mingle
then
and stuff like that.
if you need help for registering
Yeah. Come talk to us.
yourself in the Eventbrite, we can help you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. Yeah, so we'll have this up here, and we also have some laptop if you want to use to register, because it's a little bit of a long process. Well, I would say not long, but it takes a few minutes. So make sure you do that here. If you have any questions, come to us. And thank you for coming.
So see you hackathon or next Friday if you are here.
Next Friday is for Ideathon, right?
Yeah.
Hackathon for IT.
Hackathon can come directly on October.
Correct.
Local team people can come on the 20th, yeah.
Next Friday, what time?
Delson.
It's Friday, 7:30, yeah.
So in terms of like a UX designer,
Are you doing
we focus on this like more so, especially with me, is like a high fidelity, actual.
Yeah, so honestly, I'll be honest with you. I see your skills coming in very helpful for like
I would recommend you to the before.
front end and like polishing, like thinking about how a user could integrate, like interface with it. So you're probably going to be doing like a mock-up or a render. Maybe if you want to like program some of the interface features, like you're more than welcome to.
I mean, I have like zero experience with programming.
That's fine, but like, so for example, I'll give you an example of something like Tangible that I work with. So the landslide tracker, the idea was to provide a resource for people who live in landslide prone areas. So we wanted to make it look easy to digest, right? So we had a whole like it was organizing the sections of like what to do before, during, and after a landslide, how to prepare, what should be in your emergency landslide kit, what are the resources to stay up to date on like landslide developments, things like that. And then we also had a tracker that tracked like storms and stuff like that. So we had someone who was a little bit more used to design, like kind of do some renders and mock-ups of what the app's gonna look like. You know what I mean? So that's gonna help the judges see like, wow, this is order of magnitudes easier to use and digest than what we currently have available. There's serious value here in this idea. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're not programming that app all the way.
So are we doing any like research in that time? Like are we
So
doing assumptions?
obviously, and the more research you have, the more solid ground you're going to stand on. Because if you get up there and say, oh, we're every year people die from falling through ice all the time, and we wanted to figure out this. And it's like, well, okay, but what if you don't live on ice? Or only 3 people die a year from that. It's like, that's Google. Like you could have Googled that. So you want to you want to have some research, but you're not going to be like required to cite like research from journal publications. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you got 48 hours to like help this together. You know what I mean? So there's it is a balancing act a little bit there, but obviously the more you have a citation, like it's pretty big. One of the people that beat us last year, 2017, they had their idea was I wasn't doing math. I was like, dude, all right, but basically all it was if you take ISS, you go through 17 sunsets. How do you think your body's circadian rhythm's gonna handle that?
17 a day?
Yeah. So sunrises and sunsets. So that fucks with your sleep. So they came up with a little band that shines light down. It doesn't shine light in your eyes, but it shines light down. So when you wake up in the morning and there's like this natural sunlight coming in and it helps you wake up. Well, there's research to prove that if you subject yourself to certain wavelengths of light, it produces signal over your body and your activity changes. Exactly. And so if you one second. And then if you change the wavelength, you can actually induce a light level of drowsiness, right? So if you take away that natural sunlight, you subject yourself to some low blue wavelengths, something like that, you can induce some drowsiness. And in the research that they cited, it was concluded that different wavelengths of light is the equivalent of like 20 minutes of that light is equivalent to like a cup of coffee. That's huge.
Is that comparison to like the blue light that we get from?
Yeah, it all ties in, right? When we're talking about wavelengths of light, and that what you're talking about there, you've got research like you shouldn't be exposing yourself to that at nighttime because it messes with your circadian rhythm. You don't get restful sleep. Because your body, obviously it's nighttime, but your body is like, what's going on? So they literally just designed a band that would shine different light, and so your body would react to it. So, dude, and it was so nice. It didn't work. They didn't have like an LED thing that worked, but they did renders of like what it could look like. They had a picture of like an astronaut's like floating in space, and they like photoshopped it on him, and they like did all the shadings. So it's like the judges could see that, and then they could tie it to the research, and they like, absolutely.
With the wearables that you were talking about, was that like, you guys have anything to do with like graphite?
Do we have to?
My wearable? So my wearable focus on a few different things. So my name is Delson. What's your name? Cool. So he just asked me about what some of the other projects did and like what are the timelines, how to leverage skills. Yeah. So I'll answer it in the form of explaining like kind of what I do in my pocket, right? So we only have 48 hours, so we decided to, like I said earlier before the competition, we kept looking to see when the challenges came out. When the challenges came out, we already had an idea. We wanted to work on the suit, we wanted to do wearables because that was one of the top high-level categories. So then when they put out there to like challenge to improve the suit, we immediately just started. We actually looked up a journal paper where Chris Carr they tested a wearable computer inside the suit. So currently the suit has what's called a HUT, a hard upper torso, and that's where all the control panels are for like temperature, pressure, and all that stuff, and all the regulators and stuff like that is on the outside of the suit. So if you have a hard upper torso and you have a visor with a limited field of view, you can't look down. You can't look at that control panel. So how do you control it? Like mirrors in your wrist. Yeah, that's talk about low tech. They have mirrors in the wrist, so we're like, there's no need for that. Like we can fix that with like a phone. We can fix that with a head display. We can fix that with, you know what I mean? There's tons of technology readily available to address that. So that's what we did. We looked at, so through that paper, we looked at some of the electrical requirements for the suit, what are the voltage requirements, what are the fire hazard redundancies that they have inside the suit, make sure you don't spontaneously combust in outer space. So, yeah, a lot of fun stuff like that. So, we literally, in 48 hours, we're like, all right, we got some Raspberry Pis, we got some Intel Edisons, so that's what we work with. We took a Raspberry Pi, we strapped it. I don't have it with me, but I broke off the bottom of my laptop case. We tied some strings to it. That was a back, kind of like a back plate, right? Emulating like where the computer would be on the suit. We like double-sided taped the Raspberry Pi to that. We had that talking to the other Raspberry Pi we had. That had a camera on it, and we put Velcro on a. We had like a little sleeve or a T-shirt. We put Velcro on that, so that was what we called an external module. So the idea would be that the suit had these, it had all your pressure, your temperature, your oxygen level, and then it could also communicate with your tools, right? So if you know, they have this, we found out that in space they have a pistol tool that's like a drill bit, it's like a multi-tool. So if you knew how much battery life was left, you knew the speed that it was rotating, and you knew the heat if you're drilling something, that's very helpful information. Your ship breaks in outer space. Alright, it's a wrap. Let's go back to drawing board. That's time and money. So we focused on, in this order, we focused on improving the safety, comfort, and adaptability of the suit. So we focused on these high-level ideas, and then we focused in on, what are the one or two things that we could do to improve these aspects of the suit, and that's all we did. And then literally our prototype was a video on YouTube. I don't want to show you the link because it's so bad. but we literally used like a box of Joe from Dunkin' Donuts for the helmet. We used some iPhones for like a heads-up display for the reflection. And then we had Raspberry Pis connected to it, and we painted a picture, right? We sold a vision, and that's what you're trying to do. We're not going to build a spacesuit in 48 hours. It's just not going to happen. We can't do that. So,
unless you're a fashion designer.
Dude, you'd be amazed. Like, there's a lot of people who come with some really cool ideas like that. One of my favorite ones was there's a satellite that constantly takes pictures in space. So these people, they just made a webpage, and all you do is put in the date and time that you were born, and it prints you out a birthday card with a picture of space and that time.
That's crazy.
That's so like simple, but it's beautiful. It's really cool. So it's not like the most complicated, the most dynamic, the most impactful, the most anything that wins. It's just like, just have fun with it,
What are some of the ideas you guys are thinking of, like, attacking?
You don't know them, right?
Well, they have like a few of them. I mean, I just
let me put up the categories.
Were there like 40
categories?
Were there like 40 different items under each category of thing though? Like on Earth things.
We already have a team.
Stuck out to me.
Just one person sign up and put 6.
So for the NASA page, you'll want to.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you'll sign up as a team, and then you'll list your team members.
So this is
I remember it.
That might be
It's bad. I should remember.
That's
on that. So like drop down.
the universe. It's just really vague though. Besides like
Zero what?
I don't know. I feel like it's
They
hard
said
to
to
formulate
register.
a concrete idea.
I'd have to look at it again. I can't. We can just.
Yeah,
jump on it
that's my
and
problem
find
too.
out.
I don't have
You sign up on NASA's
ideas
site.
on
You
that.
sign up as a team.
Good.
Yeah, right. And then you
On
list your
that.
members. Right?
On NASA site?
Yeah.
But that only needs to be done before the end of the hackathon.
Right. You don't have to do that now. So when they're registering right now, they're registering.
Just on Eventbrite.
Eventbrite
Yeah,
to
do that.
say that you're
Individual.
and that is individual.
Yeah, that's individual.
No,
Okay.
actually,
So we can get access to the site.
What's that?
You get access to the site. Oh, is that?
Yeah, so that's the
Yep. Yep. That's the only thing.
But I don't get how it works. If you present an idea and it gets improved, you have to wait till October 20th to start working on it?
No. No, so you're free to do whatever you want up until the competition, but
Well, that's when we're presenting.
yeah, so it starts Saturday morning, and then we give you the space. You're there, you're with your team, you're working, whatever you want to do, and then Sunday morning you come in and you Sunday you come in and you present. So, I mean, like to answer someone else's question earlier, like. I had a friend that I knew I was gonna work with, and then we were looking at the idea. Originally, you know, like in the military, how they have that backpack with like the weave, and you can like strap different. Yeah, so that's what we wanted to do. That's what we wanted to do for the representative. So we wanted to like make it so you could like put a bunch of stuff on the suit, and then we realized like that was too cumbersome. So then we're like, all right, let's look at what the suit needs. You know, let's see what it has, and then figure out what it needs instead of just like, oh, let's do this to the suit. You know what I mean? So you're free to do like research, look around, see what's going on, and then just kind of have some general background, and then come in and hit it hard. I just keep checking the NASA website. It's a challenge.
Where is that?
If you just Google space apps, NASA space apps, yeah. I think the only thing you'll find there right now is these categories. Another great thing that you can do is you can look at past years and see the challenges that they had for past years.
That's on the same website.
Yeah, so they differentiate by like the subdomain 2017, 2016.
I see.
Certain projects.
So on the investment, do you want to do that individually on the NASA website? I don't know if the registration is open yet. Really, your registration, and then you'll correct, yeah. Because the Eventbrite one's going to tell us how many people are going to show up here, and then for the national one, they're just on like, hey, we participated, here's our idea. And they'll give you a space to like put links and your GitHub for your code, and then talk about the chat, like you'll select the challenge that you guys, and then write a little bio about your project.
So the distribution is on the website.
Yeah, it's going to come around.
This one's today.
Yeah, you can't. That one. Yeah, you should do that as soon as possible. The local event is going to be limited, right? Like the space was already kind of
They did it?
The NASA registration, you just have to do that before the end of the year. You can do that on the day of.
So what? So I'm not sure exactly the team I'm going to be on. I don't even know who from Winmore is even doing this. So how am I supposed to be finding and joining the team?
Looked at one of the programs we had. My first time like being exposed to like UX.
I use a computer science major.
Okay. So I was like,
You have ideas, right?
like UX. So I bought all my books in the class, and they dropped it.
What do you do? What's your background?
They dropped it.
Computer science.
And then you guys, what's your
one of those things like the
specific coding?
Languages are Java and similar or object-oriented.
general assembly course.
Alright.
I did immersive.
You guys ever work with hardware?
And it was amazing.
The only time we're with hardware is actually with
Like someone turn on a faucet, like all the
So,
those
maybe, like, I literally took this, I tackled this event. I wanted to make sure I did something that I had never done. Like, I wanted to have no background in it so that I could take that. I learned this at the NASA space. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that in and of itself is a challenge. So, you know, like the real point here is just to have fun with it. So, you're not gonna get a grade. You know what I mean? One thing I will say though is like some of these projects I have used them in class projects. So I've seen them like, hey, I have a background in this now, and so then like I did a circuit theory at Bunker Hill, and so I used part of the suit project in an extra credit project in physics too, which had the circuit theory. So that helped me out. That was like a two for, you know what I mean? So I do that. Good question.
Yeah.
About registering or something like that.
Oh yeah, I swore I could have shoot
I think Alex said something.
And then yeah, you might be able to
Send to Alex?
He said somebody sent us something.
Yeah, I did. I sent it to Alex. He just like weeks ago. Yo, Alex. Dude, you got 20 people in the bunker.
There's a whole, from the computer science club, there's a whole, he just came for the club with a whole bunch of the
To be honest, I'd rather have the information or like even
in the team.
you know,
But if you have a lot of people,
like
it's gonna get messy with logistics, right? You constantly gonna be like, all right, who's doing this? Oh, I'm working on something. You like, no, what should I be doing? Like, it can get messy. So smaller teams can move.
Yeah, but like you
obviously
have
more work.
like right?
So you know, it's a balancing act. That's part of that's a skill you have to have in industry, right? Like how to balance
down there.
management,
Like to
workloads.
and then like you can get all
That's all part of it.
understand your money. You can just
It will.
choose
It's
to
gonna
be
be a
like,
lot
I'm gonna go for this one and tell loads of others.
how was the like the
So I'm kind of here.
I think what they're looking for is like someone who
I don't have an idea right now. Still a good experience regardless.
as well as like what is
Probably more from Bunker Hill.
I will say I strongly encourage you guys to work with people from other schools.
and I think it's like
There's nothing stopping you from joining the Bunker Hill team. It's totally cool, but you know.
so it's like more or less like
Huh? Can you help me out with that real quick, maybe? Okay, let's see what you got.
so it's kind of like if you're
So he came here to ask me first. So basically, he came to see some of your help. I think it was something.
If anyone has experience with hardware, I'm working with MSP4. It's basically like an industrial version of a CD board. If anybody has experience working with microcontrollers, I'd like to talk about that.
I'm more like on the UI.
yeah, so like but then there's like
Okay, do you know how to work analog to digital conversion?
project settings like if you manage this and some sort of China.
Yeah, let's exchange information.
So they'll be probably asking you about that. But also obviously like if you
So you started off at Bunker, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did too many years ago. Transferred out to Wentworth. Yeah.
they didn't like design China. They just asked me
What'd you have for
make the show whatever.
Who's that for 120?
I didn't. So I did do 120. That's introduction to C++. I had to
show it to one person.
Yes.
After the job.
You're number one in his heart.
Dude, he's number one in mine. You know, I totally. I forgive him. Yeah, I did he has like a final project
And I think
in that
they're
class,
also
right?
ready for
Java?
Yeah, well, no, I did for C++.
Yeah, like
We have for Java. We have a semester project for Java.
Yeah, we had a semester project for C++ too. I did. I controlled. So I attempted to control our C car with an Xbox controller over Wi-Fi over the internet, and so I like went off in a tangent like using Python, and I didn't even like. I had this code for C++ to integrate it, but I didn't even get to do it. But it still gave me like a B for it, just because I'd done so much on that project, and he's like, "This is your code. You wrote this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Sounds C++."
Oh, okay. Why'd you use Python?
Because a lot of the, I was in that phase where I was just like looking at tutorials for everything, and everything I could find, I used Python to control the motor bridge, like this pulse width modulator, like because you need a pulse width modulator to control the motor, the RC bar, and so everything I found was in Python for that. I couldn't find it in C++. But the C++ is what talked to the inputs from the controller. So that was C++, and then I had that talking to, or I was working on trying to get that to talk to the Python that controlled the pulse width modulator, and then that would, when I moved the controller, it would tell the RC card to move. But I had the connection over Wi-Fi, so I had a Raspberry Pi on the car. I had the Raspberry Pi connected to the motor driver, and the motor driver connected to the motor on the car, and then I had a wireless Wi-Fi dongle on the Pi, and then I had a hotspot taped to the Pi, and then I had a battery taped to everything.
How fast did that car move?
Dude, so there's this monster thing, and then I had like a cheap little router, and I had all of that connected to the router locally, and then I had that router connected to my laptop, and so I would connect the Xbox controllers to the laptop, and basically now you had this totally independent satellite little card that you could control from anywhere, because it had its own mobile hotspot, its own power source, and its own computer.
How big?
And it had a camera. That was the other thing. I had a camera on it, so I could see what I was doing remotely. It was like some drone kid.
You're watching it on the computer?
Yeah. So I could see where I was going too far away. But like I said, I didn't manage to get the controls for the Xbox controller.
Did you put it on the shelf? Did you ever get it to work?
I still have it in the box, and I keep telling myself, like, when I finish this,
It's gonna end up doing that.
It's probably like, I'm probably just gonna hold on long enough, and then you're gonna have like my kids. You gotta carry this on.
Gotta carry on the legacy.
Yeah.
I just built a Raspberry Pi card that could be
They didn't exist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Raspberry Pi just like come out. Yeah, it was like, I was like, what is this? It's this tiny little computer. Like, I gotta use this. Like, I didn't know what I'm gonna use this for, but I gotta use this.
We just made we kind of made like a car. We didn't have a controller for it. We could control it for the laptop. Oh, for me, Paul, and it's like a little, we built like a whole wooden chases for the car. I think it's too heavy though now, because like, it moves slow. Yeah. And like, the wheels are like not a lot. They kind of like turn so slightly.
What kind of, is it a servo motor?
It was, I can't remember what it was. We had a Raspberry Pi, we had a controller board for all the motors and everything.
So there's a few different types of motors. So a servo motor is a motor that like turns a few degrees
I guess so, yeah.
and it goes back to zero naturally. It has like force feedback. And then there's a brushless motor, which is just meant for like high speed one direction, right? And then if you invert the current, then it'll go in the opposite direction. And then there's a stepper motor, which is like meant for very precise movements.
The same process.
Stepper motors like what they use on like 3D printers, right? Because they have to move in one direction and back and forth like that. Typically, RC cards they come with brushless motors, but a lot of these kits they're either like really weak brushless motors or they're servos. And that's why they're really.
So that means you probably have like a lot.
It's a kit. It came with a kit, right?
We bought it all. It did come with the kit.
So yeah, what do you think is your like main?
Well, I don't know, because we had a different chase that was like really light, and it was going like at a decent pace. The only thing we had to get it was kind of misaligned. It was really misaligned, so it like rotated heavily. So he built like some builds. He does carpentry, so like he built like a little wooden thing. It was cool and everything. Like it was really cool. It just looking at it, I'm just like it's pretty heavy.
Wait, does Bunker have like a 3D printer now?
I don't think it does.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you get a Fusion 360 for free. So Autodesk and then AutoCAD. if you go on AutoCAD, Autodesk.com, you can sign up with your EDU account and you get free Fusion 360, which has some crazy tools for 3D modeling. You can do simulations, and if you learn how to do that before you even transfer out, you're flexible. And it's really not that. It's like, if you learn how to use like Photoshop, or if you learn how to use your IDE for programming,
Engineering 101,
That one of the things was like pretty cool.
It's easy, and you just put like, if you're graduating like in 2018, just put like 2021, and now you have it.
US and the UI, like you're taking on literally both tasks.
I was at a trade show earlier this morning in the manufacturing, and there's this new thing in manufacturing coming out that's it's starting to get really popular. Generative design. So you specify the constraints, and then you have the software build your code. So it's using artificial intelligence neural networks. So the designs are like insane. It's like really crazy designs. And then you pick which one you want because it gives you a bunch of options, right? Optimize for mass, optimize for strength, different materials. But a lot of these features, the way it works for specifically SolidWorks is when a new feature comes out, it's only available for the premium like industry listings. And then the following year it becomes available for educational listings. So next year we're gonna get that for in SolidWorks. It's gonna come in your student license. I don't know if Bunker Hill has SolidWorks yet, but SolidWorks definitely does. So I'm really excited about that. But I know that I don't know, but I hope that's also coming for AutoCAD because Fusion 360 moves always hard. Generative design, and then you specify your constraints easier than on SolidWorks.
Oh, data stuff.
Because SolidWorks is model the part.
Like I think,
but I was blown away. I watched like a tutorial on how to do it in YouTube. And I was like, what? Like, it's crazy. So I'll explain. I'll elaborate a little bit. So GE had a competition. They have this this mount on the inside of their turbines that they use to hoist it up and pick it up, right? So this hoist has to be reliable, and the smaller they can make it, and the cheaper. The smaller they can make it, the cheaper it becomes, and they have to have it for every turbine, right? So if they made one that's standard for all of them, and it's super cheap, that would save them millions of dollars. So they teamed up with GrabCAD, which is like a modeling, like a service that just hosts like models, like you can just upload your design and share it with people, so kind of like a portfolio, right? They launched a competition and they had over like 600 entries. And there's like all these different designs and different materials and different approaches. And literally all it was like 2 screws into the turbine and then like a hole for you to like hook stuff, right? And so that's really easy for you to model a constraint. You have a cylinder where you have not an axial load, but it's a perpendicular load. There's a technical term for it. But you have a load through 2 holes, and then you have 2 bolt holes that have a fixed load, right? So you can model those loads, those constraints in any just the cylinders, right? So you have 2 axial loads here for the screws, and then you have a through one that's perpendicular for hoist. After you model those constraints, you tell the AI, say, model the optimal design for an object that will handle these loads. And then it goes crazy. It just produces like a bunch of designs. The point is, like, a bunch of people designed it, and then they stacked it up to against one designed by the AI. And I don't remember the results, but I really think that if the AI didn't win, it got the It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool little like case study.
What's it called, the AI thing?
It's the whole idea of the concept is called generative design. Yeah. Because it doesn't. The idea is like you upload the constraints and then it just constantly generates different ideas, different. Because it's basically doing trial and error faster than you could.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
I thought it gave like one.
No, it isn't. It can't give you the best, right? Because it doesn't. There's no way for it to know all of the external constraints, right? So it gives you a bunch of suggestions based on what you input, and then you have to decide like which is the best. Yeah, of course. Like we can't use, we can't use plastic, so we're not gonna care for the designs that use plastic, right? We're looking for something titanium, corrosion resistant, chemical resistant, all these different things.
How'd you hear about it?
Hear about what?
They said the what's it called? The
Generative design?
Yeah.
I think it was like a Google card on like recent developments and stuff. On my phone,
So yeah,
I was like, oh, what's this?
I consider myself a UX.
And then I went down a rabbit hole. And
Yeah, that happens.
you know how that goes.
Any idea when they're gonna show up?
Yeah, I know he's trying to do the challenges.
I was actually
If I had to bet, it's probably going to be like maybe 2 weeks before the competition.
So then what do we do next Friday?
So next Friday, like you should be focusing on like what are your interests, like what are you interested in? Like there's categories, so you're free to think broadly, right? The whole reason why it's a challenge is because of the time frame, right? So you can't like the most exciting part, like idea.
Next Friday was like you saying that backpack thing.
Yeah, like we'll give you examples of what people did in the past. We'll show you some of the challenges that NASA had issued in the past. A lot of the challenges come back. They come out with like slight changes, or because like I said, some of these challenges are challenges they've addressed. So last year they issued challenges that maybe they hadn't done yet. Maybe those challenges will come back this year, but now NASA has a solution, but they still want to see what other people would do for it. You know what I mean? So that's likely to happen. Maybe some challenges will come back. Like I said, with some slight changes and different iterations.
I thought Friday was supposed to present something.
So Friday you can pitch an idea. If like for example, like I knew I wanted to do wearables, so I could come up in front of everybody and be like, listen, so I have background in this, this, and this. I was doing some reading about the suit, and it's 2018, and they still look at the mirror. When they want to know about when they want to do a repair on the satellite, they use a laminated booklet for the schematics. We have Google Glass, we have VR headsets, we have micro displays. There's no reason why they should be looking at a laminated booklet. There should be something that they can integrate in an advisor. I'm interested in investigating that. So I'm looking for people who have experience with hardware because I want to do a prototype. I want experience with people who have worked with curved displays because the optics for that are really challenging.
So you don't necessarily have to present.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
You can just go in and listen to what other people are doing, get inspired by that.
Syntax wise, just they don't want to.
The best way would be to look at what previous challenges. Because you're not necessarily preparing, right? Like you're not going to learn a new language between now and then, right? So what you want to do is just figure out what you want to do. Figure out what's interesting to you. What do you want? This is an opportunity for you to focus 48 hours and get as far as you can on one subject or one idea. What do you want to invest your time on?
I mean, I still.
Interesting to you. What have you maybe you've been exposed to something throughout the semester and you felt like, oh, we're only going to spend 2 days in this in class? I was really interested in that. It sucks so we didn't get to go over it.
With that, I was
time for you to do that. This is
Python. I need to Python. Python is like very.
Did you guys use that?
I don't think so. Oh, you might have. Not really sure. I unplugged it either way because it's done.
That's fine.
I did know a lot of commands to navigate the file. I haven't used it in a while.
Yo, Alex, you still here?
Yo.
I'm not sure what.
Yeah, you killed it. You've got a ton of people, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm trying to put my skills to use.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to do something.
Of course.
Like,
You will. You're gonna have fun. Like I was just telling her, like you could use the way I use this was like I just use this time. It's 48 hours for me to like fuck this editing I normally wouldn't have time to do. There's so much stuff you probably come across just like either in class or outside class, like, yo, let's go. And then if that's it, you never like get to yeah.
But NASA has these APIs, right? The open data.
Yeah, and then you go back and you see what other people have done. Like, I really, dude. So I worked on a student project, and I love the student project. But we leveled up.
So what's the program?
If you're international, you have to go program in the Netherlands or
Yeah. So you're pretty in Canada, right? You're not trying to like develop the apps, right? So they're pretty launch by the end of like it's crazy, right? So like you're showing some simple functions.
That's also overall.
We found this heat map that showed you rainfall, right? So we did some research. We found that there's several factors that contribute to
Pakistan.
the two main ones are elevation and rainfall. There's several other ones, but we're like, all right, let's just focus on the two main ones. Right there, based on those two events, we can calculate a percentage of landslides. Is it going to be super accurate? No, right? It's not. But meteorology is not super accurate. It's going to tell you how to do something.
So I ended up pivoting like 2014. I mean, as far as that's to say, like,
you could write down so you can actually that set
right now you're here, so pretty much kind of over
output it on
I was just,
we know it was like so I did all the formatting and it looked pretty. And someone else who did their JavaScript, they connected the databases and did the calculations. And then someone else did a nice little beautiful mock-up of what an app could look like before this happened.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So right there we have
I don't have
for landslide tracking.
I don't know who and where this going.
The database was disabled, so the heat map isn't working anymore.
So where is it wrong background?
I
know you're career science.
I never use like JSON, and then I'm not sure. So there's some JSON, there's JavaScript, I know that. And then I use HTML, CSS, there's some modification, embedding it into our page.
We're all gonna be there. We just don't know like a team.
And then I honestly don't know how they did that layout. I don't know how to program that.
I don't know if it'd be like
Android.
It's a that's a
He didn't
big
make
team.
an app, but it was like a little layout. Like,
Yeah.
it looked nice. It
Like,
it was like kind of fake apps on his phone. You know what I mean?
I'll show you what I did in other places.
You know what else has some geo for that? So like as you're like reading the book from yeah. But it's about like what is
Take that context.
Actually, I did take a couple of like web
So it's kind of like
classes.
meta.
You might just
metadata, all that, and like learn about metadata. It's like accessible as well, but.
It's just like, then I know how to use it.
I work in JavaScript, but then somebody.
But it's just like,
There's like these little challenges some of them
I was going into it and like, okay, well, I guess one thing.
and literally was like my brain was for
Those are problems. Those are.
I'll be honest with you.
You think you're learning for
I mean, like, and then it's like a double.
So that's where collaboration comes in.
Like, design is also like, design aesthetics today.
So much, yeah.
Dude, we gotta get Adrian.
Yeah, no, Adrian and Adrian. Dude, you gotta be my friend Roman. That dude is like really He does not read So it's cool. It has like the little simulator.
What do you think about Scaramon?
I seen this for
no skill.
Those are nice. You don't use that.
Alright, so
It's gonna change and then like coding language always changes, so there's always gonna be something.
Which type of
still building. Trying to figure out.
So which one are you gonna put your next?
We have to build
basically keep going as registration, keep going as designer.
Yeah, it's kind of
I'm reading about Swiper.
So then we process and we extract
just
all
reading
the
that
data
story,
from
I was
technical
like,
boxes and then send it into a SQL database.
That's not easy to do. So I work with the tool called OutSystem. I learned to OutSystem makes it. I heard you earlier talking about
You can use it everywhere.
So OutSystem also how to
Like,
background.
like just seeing how like
that's it was like its forte was doing like the entry like that. So we built a whole app back-end management system for a travel agency to manage schools. So let's say you're a Japanese business owner and you want to
really hard to
your business partners.
Yeah, it's very
You wanted to see the Freedom Trail, and then you wanted to attend 2 conferences that are happening in Boston, right? So our travel agent would take in the company information, the 2 attendees, the account information, like for billing. You would reach out to vendors here.
Why do you do that?
Restaurant, transportation, all of that's connected. So we're talking about vendor address, the restaurant, the hotel, and the right? Well, all of that's managed. So all of it's like form, interlinking data. It was sick. It was me and one other person. This whole application was 6 months, 70% to production. And we had testing server, development server, and production server. And it was like the most experience I've gotten in programming, and it was sick. I learned quite a lot. I'll be honest with you, like we taught me a lot about high level structure and energy structure. But I wish I did for programming.
Model view control.
No, dude, like I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was just like that was it. Like you would.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the fine line is between transition to it, because whatever I showed them, whatever I talked about, they use so like it's kind of hard to say like what it was when I did have another.
Go tell them he's cheating is wrong. So that's what we have
a lot of
I know, I heard of that.
Yeah, so I got hired at I think that might
So one of the challenges after the user interaction, one of the challenges you should be able to disable it.
Before that, I was
So
solutions to
every time I was interacting with the true button, it would disable the true button. It would disable the true button. Every question was like, no, you're a UX designer. Yeah, but then that's where you start breaking things down into components. Like, where is the problem lying? Obviously, it's the next part. Some people don't re-enable the buttons when you set the flow.
Like, small.
It was
Like for me, like unknowingly, while I was, starting my company, I was kind of like testing out, like, does this work? You know what I mean? So I guess like that's my experience in like slowly, testing these small parts to see if this works for my business. If not, I'm tossing it. If it does, let's build on it. Some iteration and stuff.
So this
isn't even half.
Always having a strategy or a plan. I didn't like arguing over.
We don't have like a huge client or a huge one.
Yeah, I was like
we found sponsors with donation space. But like I said, 2014,
you guys asked to solve this problem. I don't care if
what the hell am I doing with my tree? Doing X. There's literally 2014 changed my life. I was like,
it allows you to I was gonna say it loosely, but it allows you to win the battle for client.
Yeah, dude, check out those links.
Whoever.
In a more professional
Right.
Yeah, I got this.
I gotta break down my setup over here.
Alright,
I'll
dude.
see you guys around, for sure, man.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, it was nice meeting you.
What's your name again?
Shruti.
Thank you guys.
Hey, it was nice
Yeah,
meeting
thanks.
you.
We'll see you.
Hey, yeah, that's seeing
Okay.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so make sure to submit your identity.
Yeah, well, I'm a graduate, but I have a lot of experience. Well, I feel
Oh, dude, I would appreciate it, man. Here, just like putting the